Hey guys, it's Al from Home and 12 Volt Northern. We're here today to show you Dennis's Jurgen's off-road caravan. So he came into our store and actually we had a good chat, and he wanted to be able to have this caravan completely off-grid, to the point where he could actually use the air conditioner and at the same time be able to run the microwave or make a cup of coffee for him and his wife. So we looked at a system with none other than a Victron Multiplus unit, and originally we looked at a 5,000 watt unit, but we did the sums and it actually came out cheaper at the time to use two 3,000 Multiplus units and then run those in parallel, which was a first for us too, so it was all pretty exciting to be able to set that up for him. So that, with 600 amp hours of BM Pro Zeal Lithium batteries, and we went with 475 watt Victron solar panels on the roof, Dennis is definitely off grid now and can go anywhere. So let's have a look at the system. So we've got the two Victron Multiplus 3000 units here. So we've got them in parallel. Now it's probably not the kind of parallel you would normally think, where you bridge one to the other. The reason is the specifications require the parallel setup to be exactly the same length of cables to either a junction box or to the RCD. So what we've done is we've gone to the junction box, and then from there we've gone to the RCD circuit breaker. So this way the Victron Multiplus won't detect more resistance in one cable than the other. And that's what would happen if you had it bridged from one to the other, because it won't actually work properly that way. So this way it's a lot more efficient to have them in parallel working in unison. So as you can see here, the units are actually flashing. What this means is this is your master, and then this one here is your slave. So when we do the programming, we actually go in, we actually plug into the Multiplus, and we actually set this one as a master, and then we set the other one as a slave. This way they work together, but all the settings can be done through the master. So with this, what it does, it actually halves the actual charge rate as well. So we've actually done 75 amps on each unit, giving 150 amps an hour charge rate. Now the one unit is actually able to charge at 120 amps. So what we've done is we've brought that down per unit, and that way we're not going to overload each unit with maximum charging. So this also accounts for the AC amp input. So typically a Multiplus 3000 comes with a factory setting of 16 amps. So what we've done is we've halved that, and then that way the end result is still 16 amps, but from both Multiplus units. So with this, the main reason why we went this way was because Dennis wanted the ability to be able to run the air conditioner in the caravan, but still be able to turn on the coffee machine or the microwave or the toaster. And with one unit, typically he would have to turn the air conditioner off to then turn the microwave on. So with this, we've gone with the two 3000s, giving a total of 6,000 VA. So we could have gone a 5,000 VA 12 volt Multiplus, and that is an option. But at the time, it was actually more cost effective for us to do two 3,000 units in parallel. Much better unit. So we'll look at the battery bank next. We've gone with a 600 amp capacity lithium battery bank consisting of the BM Pro Zeal batteries. So let's have a look at that. So here we've got the battery bank. We've gone with the BM Pro Zeal 200 amp batteries. Reason why we recommended these batteries is because they contain prismatic cells, which are a really good option, especially if you're going to go off-road like this caravan is, for corrugations and vibration. They tend to deal with that a lot better. They're a lot more heavy duty internally, and the cables that join all the cells up are a lot more heavy duty. So these batteries with a 200 amp continuous discharge rate, altogether you got 600 amps continuous discharge. So it'll be able to handle the two 3000 Multiplus units quite easily for things like the air conditioner and running the microwave. So I've got a 3-year warranty on these. They typically last about a 10 to 12 year life as well, and we think they're a really good battery. So for charging this system off the vehicle, we've gone with twin Orion 12 volt, 12 to 12 volt, 30 amp DC chargers. These are a really good unit, and they're a great way to have some high charge input into a larger battery bank. Reason is because you can run them in parallel. So we've got a maximum charge rate of 50 to 60 amps going in through these two units here. They're fully programmable as well, so they don't require to use a ignition lead, which can be a bit of a pain to run from the vehicle into the caravan at times. So these here, full Bluetooth setup, you can program each one, so engine shutdown voltage will be the same for each unit. That way they come on together at the same time. But they're full lithium compatible, very easy to use, and they come with the Bluetooth, so you can set everything and you can also monitor it as well. We're going now to one of my most favourite Victron products, is the Victron Smart Shunt. So typically in a system we would go with a 500 amp Smart Shunt, but as you can see down here, this big daddy here is the big brother, and that's the 1000 amp. Now you're going to wonder, what the hell did you go for a 1000 amp for? Well, because we're running two Multiplus 3000s, if he happens to run this at full load, it's going to exceed 500 amps of the other Smart Shunt. So with this one here, you can easily run it right at full capacity and still monitor every bit of discharge he's taken out of the batteries. So for charging from the solar, what we've done is we've gone with 4 175 watt Victron solar panels, and to control those we've gone with the Victron Energy 50 amp MPPT. So this unit here has a 100 volt maximum input. So what we've done is we've wired the panels in series, so we've got a higher voltage input for better efficiency charging. So again, like every other Victron product, they're all Bluetooth programming, so it's easy to actually set up for lithium batteries. And these actually plug into the turbo, which then we can actually see on the Touch 70 screen, which we'll get to next. The heart of the system, which allows all these Victron components to work in unison together, is the Turbo GX. So Turbo GX is like a central hub. So all your components, including your MPPT solar controller, the Smart Shunt, two Multiplus units, all plug into this unit, and then from here displays the information on the Touch 70 screen. So as you can see, you've got the HDMI, you've got the USB port that goes to the Touch 70, the VE direct cables, they go to the MPPT and the Smart Shunt, and then you've got the RJ45 plug, which then goes to the Multiplus unit. So we'll show you on the Touch 70 how this displays everything on the screen. So it's all clearly seen, and you can see what's happening with the system. Okay, so with this system we've gone with the Victron Touch 70 screen. Typically we've done a 50, but this one being a 70, a bit easier to see, so it's a larger visibility. So on here you can see that we're actually got AC load 1158 watts, so we're running the air conditioner at the moment. 94% battery life, and out of that we're drawing 1380 watts there, 113 amps. We've also got PV charge display. So this caravan's currently in a shed at the moment, so it's not working, but you would see what solar wattage is going in. And the red block there, that's for AC input. So that'll actually show what wattage is going in as a charge back into the batteries. So we can go into the screen here, we can go into the Multiplus unit, and then what we can do, if Dennis is free camping, he can also just bring the AC input down, and that way he can actually then run this on a generator. And then so to summarize the system and how it works, I'm going to give you a quick run through of step by step how the power will come in through the van and go through this system to, in the end, give power in the caravan. So you've got the feed on the A-frame, the twin Anderson feed. They will come into the twin DC-DC chargers here. Now from there, they're going to come out and then go into the batteries. Now the negatives will all go to the smart shunt because that needs to be able to read the current of input charge as well as discharge. So from there, you've also got another way of bringing power in, and that's through the solar. And the solar will come into the MPPT, and again, that will also go to the smart shunt and then also into the batteries. So from the batteries, we then come out of there and then we go into the 12 volt distribution into the van for all 12 volt, as well as going into the Multiplus units to convert our 12 volt power into 240 volt AC. So if we come over here and have a look, we're using 0 gauge cable. Again, the DC cables are the same length to keep that load exactly the same between both Multiplus units and also the batteries. And then the AC out comes out of there into a junction box and then goes into the circuit breaker, which goes into the Caravan. So going back over what we spoke about with the Turbo GX, now we're going to cover monitoring. So for monitoring the whole system, what we've done, we've covered the way that the system works, but then all those components plug into the Turbo GX here, then that will go into the Touch 70 screen, plus it's also Bluetooth as well if you needed to use your phone for any reason. Now these are also Wi-Fi, so you can set this up on the VRM portable through Victron Energy website, and you can monitor this whole system anywhere in the world. So there you have Dennis's full off-grid Victron Energy system. We really enjoyed doing this system as we got to play around with the twin Multiplus units, which is an absolutely awesome way to get that big power. So if you are interested in a system similar to this and you want to go off-grid and run those larger wattage appliances and you want full custom to suit you, give us a call on 0882622680, or you can email us at paraka@home12volt.com.au. See you in the next video, guys.